Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. So let's take a quick look at the packaging here. You have Takara Tomy, Generations logo, Transformers down the right side. And let's take a look at that beautiful piece of artwork here. So up close, there you see Blitzwing in his robot mode. And on the upper right, you see him in his jet mode. Down below in his tank mode, blasting away at the Autobots. Looking very cool so far. On the side, much of the same, just a little bit closer image of him in his tank and jet modes. On the top, you have Transformers Legacy logo. On the bottom, you have your product information. On the side, you have the Authentics logo with the cast of the Decepticons there. And on the back, you have your product shot. So there he is in his robot mode, and he converts in 32 steps to his jet mode, 41 steps to his tank mode, and you see the implementation of his accessories on here and here. And there is the QR code if you want more information. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. So let's get this big, bad Decepticon out of the box and see what he's all about. All right, so we have Legacy Blitzwing out of the packaging, and we're going to start off in tank mode here. So let's take a look at the details. I'm really loving the color scheme on this guy. You get some really nice sort of tan, you know, that sort of army sand tan against that purple. Really nice contrast. I think as far as like a color scheme, I think this is probably the most cohesive Blitzwing you've ever gotten as far as like the use of the colors and the purple kind of hiding away and mostly having this sort of nice tan color for the tank mode. Anyways, you can see some really nice sculpted detail all around the tank. You see some little kind of built-in missiles there, some sculpted detail here on the side. You get some really nice tank treads there, done very nicely. On the top too, on the turret, you get a nice crisp Decepticon logo there with some other molded details, some ports for weapon storage as well. I really like how the front of the tank here with the cannon here is nice and long. I will bring in the Legends class, not the Legends class, the Legends figure, Takara Legends Blitzwing figure here in a few minutes for some comparisons. Of course, you have the jet cockpit kind of sticking out here. And I know it's TV, you know, show, cartoon, accurate, whatever. But for me, I'm kind of more of an aesthetics guy. Even if it kind of just stuck out a little bit, I would be fine with it. It just seems like it sticks out a little bit too much. Also, the fact that you can, hey, Blitzwing, what's up? You can see his head under there. So, yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't bother me so much in hand. I think, you know, I'm definitely just used to seeing the Takara Legends Blitzwing, and seeing this kind of protrude out here. It's a little bit of a put off, but not too bad. And you pretty much see on the other side. And again, you see the sort of jet thrusters hanging out in the back there. But overall, a very nice tank mode, and cleans up very well. And there it is from the bottom. So just bringing in that Legends. I'm just going to bring in the Legends Blitzwing here, just for a comparison. I mean, size-wise, let's see here if we can stand them up. Size-wise, obviously the Legacy is, you know, it's actually, yeah, it doesn't, I thought this would be like a lot bigger, but it's a little bit wider, but yeah, almost like the same height as the Legends class. But as far as like the color, I'm just gonna put these side by side here. As far as the color, you get that really nice tan color and the dark purple for the Legacy release, and the Legends had sort of more creamy yellow and sort of that, almost like that lavender Cyclonus purple there. So, you know, there are good things and bad things. You know, I think this tank mode, kind of pulls it off a little bit better. It's, you know, it's not perfect by any means, but again, you do have that sort of, you know, cleaner look, I think. But again, like the Legacy Blitzwing, I think this is more like bulky and massive looking, and I really like the look of it. You know, without I guess the more I look at this, kind of the more it's bothering me, but I just am too used to looking at the Legacy figure. So that's how they look side by side. So let's take a quick pause, and we're going to look at the accessories this guy comes with. Okay, so accessory-wise, we're going to start off with his guns first. He does come with two purple guns, and they're just exactly the same. They are upside down. They're just the exact same gun, molded in just that dark purple, and you get some nice detail there, and they're very cool. And you can you know, easily put these on the side. There are ports all along the side of the tank mode. Let's make sure we have those lined up, and I'm just going to put these on the back. So it's nice to have weapon storage as always, so those just kind of fit on either side there. So you get the two dual guns there. Then you get this sword he comes with. Man, this is so nice. It's cast in the purple plastic, and just a really beautiful silver paint over the top, and just the molded detail on this thing is really cool. Probably, again, one of the better Blitzwing swords we've gotten. bringing in the legend sword. I mean, this wasn't so bad. Like, they got the shape down, and you know, the sculpt detail was pretty nice on it. I actually like this lower part better than the Legacy release. It's just a little bit more detail. Now, if this had silver paint over the top, it probably would have been just as good, whoa, as I dropped the sword. But I think this definitely has more sort of beef to it. So yeah, really nice job on the sword. And again, it has a peg there, so you can, you know, you can peg it in here on the side or on the top or wherever. So it pegs in just like that. We're gonna take it off for now. Okay, now for the mystery accessories. These things, good Lord, like what the heck is this? I think I felt the same way as I did when I opened that Shockwave, you know, all those extra parts and stuff. And I was just like, you know, what, why kind of, these are so ridiculous looking. It's just done in this clear plastic with a little bit of purple paint over the top. And for me, it's just like combiner hands. It's like, you know, I'm still trying to find a way to kind of incorporate these in some other figure. I mean, it'd be cool like, if you had these big honking like fists on some other figures. There is a port and a peg on the inside, so I'm sure you could find a way, you know, to kind of beef up your other bots. But like, yeah, it totally looks like Combiner Wars kind of fists to me. And there's a hinge here that you can hinge. It just goes up and down. And I know they're supposed to kind of, you know, double as like missiles and stuff, but really, I just think this is unnecessary. I really don't know where this came from. And, you know, I'm probably going to be just storing these away and not use them at all. One thing I will tell you guys, if you've picked this figure up, now these can come off. So it's basically just, there's a peg here and there's a port here. So if you want to make, you know, in robot mode, have them beefed up with the fist here, you can. But basically what you want to do for storage is you want to take these off, and then there is a port here and there's a peg here. So you can easily store them under here. Now, what I just tried to undo these, and they are very, very secure. So my recommendation is don't put them in so tightly. I think I pressed, well, see, it's like super tight. So yeah, just if you're gonna store these guys, I would recommend just kind of lightly pushing down just so they sort of tab in. Because otherwise, you know, I had to have a pair of scissors to get that out. So they're very tight. So you can kind of store them like that. And that's a little bit better. It kind of looks just like a, you know, like a missile pod there. And I'll show you how that incorporates in a second. And just taking this off and putting that in there. And again, just kind of lightly tab it in because you're going to have a hard time trying to get those out. So anyways, there is a little slot on either side. And then on the turret here on the back, there is a little notch there. So basically what you want to do is take that. Let's see, you want to take that and line that up there. Of course, easier said than done. Like so. And yeah, they don't really peg into place all that well. So what you want to do? Do I have these guys? Sorry, I have them opposite. Like, no wonder they didn't peg in well. If you have them the right way, they actually peg in well. So just trying to get these guys pegged in. There we go. And you have the missiles obviously facing forward. And again, just we'll slot that in like that. Sorry about that. And there it is, sort of armed up with the missile pods. And it doesn't look that bad. That's kind of like a cool look. I don't mind that so much. Like, you know, he's definitely like, you know, armed up and ready to go. So that's cool. But yeah, like as far as like the incorporation of like the fists or the combiner hands, I'll call them, it's a bit silly in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, let's pause again and let's get this guy into his jet mode. All right, so you have Legacy Blitzwing all transformed into his jet mode. This is definitely the weakest of the modes, but still there's some very nice detail on this figure. So taking a closer look at that detail, on the front, you get very nice silver paint for the nose cone. You get some nice clear plastic for the cockpit there. And some yellow, nice yellow paint accents on either side of the cockpit and on the edges of the wings here. And again, that silver paint continues down through the midsection. Some nice molded detailing through there. And you get the nice silver Decepticon logos on the back. And some very nice sort of panel lining and molded detail there. And you get the very nice painted fins on the back. See the thrusters there. Now, of course, from the top, this thing looks like perfect. You know, from the top, it looks just, oh man, looks very, very cool. I'm loving the color scheme and everything. From the side, yeah, it's, wow. It looks like it's just like sitting on a tank here. I mean, there's going to be compromises with the triple changer no matter what. You know, some figures pull it off better than others. I think the Siege Astral Train actually pulled it off pretty well. This guy, not so much. But yeah, I mean, from the top down, he looks really cool. From the side, not so much. From the bottom, you know, not so much. But then when you put him down, yeah, he's just so thick. He's just looking so thick there. So, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, they did their best. Again, I think they could have tried to maybe tuck these parts in a little bit or something. I think there could have been some other engineering to make this guy just a little bit cleaner looking. But anyways, from the top, looking very, very nice. Now, bringing in the Legends Blitzwing here. I definitely think this plane mode, I'm just going to put this guy down here. I definitely think the jet mode for this pulls it off just a little bit better. It's just a little bit cleaner looking, cleans up a little bit nicer, and a little bit more compact. Although I love the colors on the Legacy, so just kind of bringing those guys in side by side just for a nose-to-nose comparison there. So that's how they look side by side. And let's see how they compare size-wise. Looks like the Legends class, sorry, not Legends class, the Tackle Legends figure on my right is a little bit longer. It's a little bit bigger. This guy looks a little bit stubby, sort of more compact. This guy's a little bit more open, sort of has a bigger surface area there. But that's how they compare side by side. So yeah, definitely think that the Legends figure definitely pulls off a little bit better. Now there is some implementation with the silly accessories here, I like to call them. So basically on the back, if you just take these parts on the thrusters and they are split so you can pull them down. And another thing is this guy's pretty tight, but there are some tabs that kind of don't sit in place. You got to be careful when you transform this guy. Make sure everything is tabbed in very tightly. I think I have it to the point where it's nice and solid, but there's a little bit of flimsiness in through the leg section there. So you got to make sure everything's sort of tabbed in. Anyways, you want to pull those sections down and you will reveal 2 ports there. So basically what you can do is you can take your, you know, your little silly accessories here and plug those in like so, and that sort of hides the top of the thrusters. And not really sure what kind of look that is going for, but yeah, it's something you can do. It's a thing you can do with the accessories. So those just tab in the back there, and yeah, maybe like it's supposed to look like he's flying through the air, some sort of jet, you know, smoke or something. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can put some blast effects in there. Let's see, what do I have on hand? I have, let me see what I have here. I have some blue blast effects. I mean, it is blast effect compatible, so I think, is it? Yeah, it is. Obviously it is. So yeah, you could like, you know, put some blast effects on the back there and kind of have it look like, you know, he's sort of going through the air there. It's not so bad. I mean, you know, it's the thing you can do. It's not really great. It's not really awesome either. But so anyway, but to take those off, you can just basically untab them. And then you want to just put those back up. It helps to sort of unfold that part. And they will just snap back up like that. So that is the jet mode for Legacy Blitzwing. So let's pause again and get him transformed into hopefully his best mode yet, his robot mode. All right, here with Legacy Blitzwing, all transformed into his awesome, awesome robot mode. This by far is definitely the best mode out of the 3. I would say robot mode, tank mode, jet mode in that order. So yeah, let's take a look at his details. Obviously, he can hold his sword in his hand and his guns. Now, there is weapon storage for this guy, which is great. Let's just get into that real quick. So taking his sword off and taking his gun off. So as far as his guns, you can go on the back here, and there are ports on either side. And basically, you can just plug the guns in on either side here very easily. So you do have weapon storage. That is very nice. So let's see here, just making sure they are both the same. So you just plug those in like so. And you have instant weapon storage, which is, let's see, that guy is, I guess it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but the instructions do say like that. That does give him a little bit of a silhouette. I actually like that. I like having the guns sticking up on that side though. That is very cool, but I definitely like to, you know, have him hold his gun as well. So that's something you can do. And as far as the sword, you can just put it back here. Again, all 3 weapons can store on the back. So that is great. So taking off the weapons here. And let's get into the details of this guy. This robot mode really is impressive. Let's get in on the head sculpt first and foremost. Beautiful head sculpt. He has some really nice, clean yellow paint here for the helmet. A little bit of red paint on the crest there. You get the red for the visor. and really nice silver paint on the face. You get your Decepticon logo front and center, some more of that nice silver paint on the either side of the chest. You get that the yellow paint on the side and a little bit of the red triangles for accents there. A lot of silver paint here, which we saw in jet mode. And going down the figure, you get the legs there. Some very nice molded detail on the upper thighs there. It's some nice silver paint. And you see the silver paint for the fins there. So yeah, very, very cool robot mode. I really love this little part here, the little black that kind of breaks up all the tan here. Very, very nice looking robot mode indeed. That's how he looks from the side. And that's how he looks from the back. So there it is. So yeah, Blitzwing looking very, very cool in his robot mode. I have a few issues with the robot mode. It's like, I hate to say it, as much as this robot mode looks awesome, I have 3 issues with the robot mode. One of them being is that these side pieces on the arms, they are on this hinge here to cover up the hollowness, but they don't lock in place. There's no tab or anything. So they do, if you're trying to pose the arms, they do get in the way. So there's no real locking point or stopping point. They just kind of hang out there, which it's unfortunate. At least put some sort of little stopping point or some soft ratchet or something in there. That's one of my complaints. The other complaint is the backpack does not tab in at all. All this stuff sort of, they could have maybe put just a little tab there and like a little tab there. It's getting closer here. It looks like it almost like kind of rests on here. It does just rest, but let's move the arms out a little bit. So it doesn't lock into place. It just kind of hangs off the back, which it's pretty stable. I mean, it's not like it's not going anywhere, but at the same time, we all know that, for backpacks, they usually lock into place. So this guy does not lock it in place. It just kind of hangs out, which is not a big deal. I think more importantly, this arm piece is a little bit annoying for me. And then the third kind of complaint is for articulation in the arms. You can lift these tabs up here and here to allow for more forward movement here. And you can get some outward movement there, but there's no hinge or anything at the shoulder, so you can't really get any. He can go out that much, and he can go kind of back that far, and he can go out that much, but there's no rotation at the shoulder, so that is just really unfortunate. So we'll get into articulation in a sec here, but that would be like my 3 complaints: the arm thing, the backpack not tapping in, and there's no arm rotation. So, but other than that, he is pretty much perfect in my opinion. And just bringing in the Legends class Blitzwing, and let's see here if I can, the turret does sort of, so you can just adjust my camera just a little bit. So that's how they look. And actually, yeah, geez, the Legends Blitzwing is a giant compared to the Legacy one in both modes, in jet mode and robot mode too. So definitely loving the color scheme on the Legacy figure, way much better. But yeah, I didn't realize this guy was so big. Yeah, he's so big. Anyways, that is, I'll definitely be replacing this guy with the Legacy figure, but this figure is not so bad, for its time, and it still kind of holds up. He was kind of my, my go-to Blitzwing figure until now, so, but there's just a side-by-side comparison. So let's get into articulation for Legacy Blitzwing. So his head is actually really expressive. You can look up that much, he can look down. There's not much on side to side, a little bit of wibble-wobble there, and obviously you can go a full 360 on that, and there's some nice detail on the back of the head as well. So you get some nice articulation for the head. Now, like I just mentioned, these flaps do come up, these little flaps here, and you do get some outward movement, and you do get some forward movement, but unfortunately, yeah, I mean, because of the backpack as well, you're not going to get any rotation really, so I kind of understand why they did that. There's an upper bicep swivel. There is about a 90-degree, a little bit more at the elbow. You do have wrist swivel, wrist and waist. You do have, let's move those arms out. You do have waist swivel as well. And again, just like on the shoulders, you do have these flaps here. So you just put those up like that. And he can kick forward that much. And he can kick back, that much. Yeah, he doesn't really kick back so much on the back part, but getting those flaps up, he can do pretty much the full splits there. And there is an upper leg. Well, because of the ball joint at the thigh here, you can get a thigh swivel there. Is there? No, there's nothing at the upper thigh. And you do get about a little bit over 90 degree for the knees there. And you do have the ankle rocker joint for the feet there, so it goes all the way out. So some very nice articulation on this guy. Again, you know, not a deal breaker by any means as far as like the rotation on the shoulder. Not a big deal. I would say this this part on the arm is you know, I would have liked to seen something more on that arm part kind of locking in. But for the most part, yeah, this guy looks awesome. This robot mode is definitely the strongest. So I'm going to take a pause here, and I'm just going to show you how you can implement those silly accessories on his arms. Sorry, I missed one point of articulation in the wrists. There is a hinge right here that you can put the wrist like that. So there's actually a nice wrist swivel. So you can get them in some very cool poses with the wrist there. So that's actually very interesting. I've never seen something like that on a modern day Transformer, really. Again, these pieces drive me crazy. Anyways, you can put the wrist like that and put the wrist like that. And then you can take these big hunking things and basically the peg in there clips on to the fist like so. And same on this side. They don't really hold in that well, so basically want to just clip that in like that. Easier said than done. I find it easier just to push the fist up against that port. This one is not going in as easy, and it already, you know, reminds me how much I hate these things. God, these are a pain in the butt. So anyways, that's something you can do if you want to. You can have him have super big hands. But it looks really stupid, so we're going to take these off. And let's fix his fists. And let's pause for some final thoughts here on Legacy Blitzwing. Alright, so some final thoughts for Leader Class Legacy Blitzwing. The robot mode is awesome. Just some minor complaints, you know, like the arms and the fact that the backpack doesn't tab in, and, you know, the shoulders don't rotate. But I can easily look past that. Other than that, I think the robot mode is just about perfect. Very cartoon accurate, and just loving the color scheme on this guy. They really knocked it out of the park with the robot mode. Not so much the tank and jet modes, but definitely going to be displaying him in his robot mode. And he will be replacing my Takara Legends Blitzwing. So definitely pick this guy up. If you see him, you won't be disappointed. And yeah. This has been the video review for Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. This has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.